What constitutes a good childhood? Is it lots of toys or loving parents? Well, I know that a fond part of my childhood was watching Disney movies with my family members. Disney has affected millions of other children, so it's ironic to think that the man who created all this joy actually didn't have a good childhood himself. Disney actually spent the majority of his adult life attempting to find the childhood that he never had. This journey is separated into 3 stages. The first being his actual childhood, the second being the beginning of his pursuit to make a childhood for himself, and also the accomplishment of this goal and the other results that ensued from it. As we mentioned before, Disney did not have that good of a childhood. The animation historian Michael Barrier tells us in his book that Disney actually had a bad personal life. He found it difficult to relate to other people because he was regularly beaten by his father, and he moved twice during his childhood, which prevented him from making lasting relationships with any other children his age. In addition, we know that Disney had a hard childhood because he worked all the time. Disney himself mentions this in a section of Barrier's book. At only 9 years old, he had 3 jobs. Now, spending so much time on work actually prevented him from spending time on other aspects of his life. The expert on consumer behavior, Margaret King, as well as the former editor of the biography magazine, Melissa Harmon, tell us that because of lack of time, Disney did poorly in school, and he didn't have opportunities to develop his talents in art. As Disney grew older, however, he did find opportunities to show those skills. The first way Disney found opportunities, Harmon tells us, is by displaying his gifts wherever he could. As an early teenager, Disney began to take art and commercial classes, and he also went as far as to draw caricatures on the sides of ambulances that were being used in World War I. The first picture that you see behind me is Disney as a 16-year-old standing in front of one of the said ambulances, and you can even see his caricature kind of drawn right over there. In addition to displaying his art wherever he could, Disney began to find support for his endeavors. The first person who supported him was a man named Ub Iwerks, who Disney met at his first commercial job. This is a picture of the 2 of them, Disney being on the left and Iwerks being on the right. The second person who supported Disney was his own brother, Roy, who ended up managing the Disney affairs once the company began to accumulate a lot of fame. The support and the perseverance Disney had went really far, and in fact, his results are world-renowned, and he's still famous today. The first result of his goal was the fact that he could make a childhood for himself. Harmon, in her article, says that the completion of Disneyland in 1955 was a symbol of this accomplishment because it shows that through a certain medium, theme park design, Disney was able to put his talents that had been repressed as a child. Other Disney products, such as films and also toys, have also served to make a childhood for others as well, not only Disney himself. I myself purchased this t-shirt when I went to Disney World during high school after riding a ride called the Tower of Terror 5 times in a row. As we see, the results of Disney's work went much farther than just himself. He has affected millions of other people and continues to be referenced today as one of the most influential people in American history. Our image of Disney comes as a result of his lifelong journey to find a childhood for himself. The desire to make his own company actually came from the fact that Disney had a hard childhood himself, what with being beaten by his father and having to work all the time. Once Disney began to pursue his interests in art, however, huge results ensued, such as the aforementioned Disney World and the famous Disney films as well. Most people will look at these results and say, well, since these creations are so cheerful, it must mean that the man who created them was also cheerful himself. They don't know that all of these results actually came from Disney having a hard life. However, allowing us to see the different hardships and challenges in Disney's career also allows us to appreciate even more the joy that comes with becoming a child again when we ourselves take part in the results of Disney's work. Thank you.